Well, hi there, folks. How you doing? We're gonna give you a short little thing with Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna in it, and then you're gonna love it. Okay? Okay. And then we'll get to the video. Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna, Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna. I can't dance with a black screen. Jaya Jaya Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna Jayanam, Ramakrishna Jayanam, Ramakrishna Jayanam, Ramakrishna Jayanam, Ramakrishna Jayanam, Ramakrishna Jayanam. Wow. I love Ramakrishna. Jai Ramakrishna, everybody, and also Jai Ma Kali. So, since right now I don't know what I'm going to be doing on Saturdays, I just decided to just do a quickie in Elden Ring. I was talking to my friend, who apparently watches the channel. Hi! Wait. I don't know if I can do this while it's in the game, so here, let me just do this. And then... Hi! Hi! Okay, there. Yeah, I don't think it'll let me do that in game because I have to type in things on the keyboard. Anyway, but him and his brother were talking about how much they like faith builds, and I was talking about how I almost always go straight melee builds, like the vast majority of the time, and I'm just more recently, well, melee or melee faith builds where like I'll do buffs, but also mostly focusing on melee. Like, that's what a lot of my various different accounts have been. I'm just going to wait for this guy to go around, and then I'll... Can't remember how far forward he comes today, because they're right there. That pillar. Okay. But yeah. And we were talking about it, and I decided to make a pure... This is a... Well, this is starting with a prophet, and then... Ow. That hurt and was rude. You shouldn't do that to me. I am a holy cat. Hey, you shouldn't do that to me either. Why is everyone being mean to me? What is this? Oh, you know, I just realized I don't have a bow. I don't have a bow, so this is actually going to be more difficult. I'm not sure when it actually decides to start coming down here. Okay, it's not yet, I guess. Or not quite yet. I will at least grab this, just so I have it. I could possibly make it down there. It's also only not 94 souls, so or 94 runes, so if I lose it, it's not like a tremendous deal. But, so they were talking about that. And I just decided I wanted to talk a little bit about how... Well, it's really fun to try out new things, but also how trying out new things and just kind of going... Oh, wow. and how just kind of going out on a limb ended up really kind of affecting my spiritual journey. You see, for me personally, I was kind of slow to actually coming into like full-on God worship, because when I was younger, I had this whole thing where I tried being a Muslim, and I was very hardcore in it, and for about 4 years I was very, very hardcore Muslim. Like, think more Wahhabi than like, think more like Wahhabi than like Sufi, definitely. And I was basically always trying to do like the most orthodox thing in every single instance and encounter, and I was always trying to I was kind of at the times trying more to impose my will on other people, which is something I would never do today, and I'm very glad I've gotten out of that. But after that, I really had a hard time with it, and I was partially struggling with my sexuality. If you don't know, I'm like a bi cat. I like both the boys and the girls. Ooh! But I kind of fell out with that, and there was a brief time where I was like, okay, well, A, I didn't really want to give myself over to any religion at that point, but B, I really and truly kind of felt like, you know, it's like, okay, you know, I put all this faith in God, and like, where was it and all this jazz? Which of course now I realize is silly. So I went from basically being a hardcore Muslim to being a hardcore, very annoying atheist for a little while, where I was going around telling everybody, um, but you know, over time, obviously that's changed. You know, I've always had a spiritual yearning in my heart, and even when I was atheistic, I was just like, I just felt this draw and this pull towards religion. And eventually I just kind of discovered Buddhism and Taoism and sort of started dabbling more in those, and I found that within that spiritual framework, I just felt better. And then I also found that there was devotion in Buddhism, and I started to do devotional stuff, and I just found that that felt a billion times better. And I was like, okay, look, I don't really know what's going on here, but I think I need this. So then I kind of kept going, and eventually I got more into Advaita Vedanta specifically, and there's like a lot of weird little videos I watched that just kind of made me, a lot of videos, lots of meditation, things like that, that eventually kind of made me just think, well, maybe I just need to give up and, or give myself up wholly to God and, you know, do that. And it was rereading the Bhagavad Gita, which really got me to kind of come back to my religious roots, and I just got really into Krishna devotion. And then I discovered Swami Sarvapriyananda. And Swami Sarvapriyananda obviously is with the Ramakrishna order. And I was learning a lot about Ramakrishna and just Advaita Vedanta. And at first I was mostly sticking strictly to like practicing Advaita Vedanta. And at first I thought, you know, a little late to tell me about that, isn't it? But I eventually thought that, oh, you know, maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's something to Ramakrishna. Because at first I was like, it seems a little crazy to be like this random guy in Bengal. He's a manifestation of God. He's an avatar. That at first seemed to me kind of a really weird notion. But I found, as I kind of learned more, that I started to, even though I wasn't sure about the avatar thing, I started to really like Ramakrishna just like as this devotee who just pours his heart out to Ma Kali. And, you know, at first I was very much into Krishna, but then I was like, well, you know, I don't know if Krishna's truly my Ishta. I just know that I really like Krishna. So then I started researching more, and eventually what I decided to do was just kind of on a whim, more or less, I decided to say a prayer to Ma Kali. And that prayer, I had, well, a lot of weird little things happen very rapidly. Ooh, you think you're sneaky, don't you? But I had basically a very strange religious experience where I literally felt like I was being like lifted into the air. It was very odd, and like one of the first religious experiences I had, and it was just very, well, I had in a long time. I had some very minor ones when I was a Muslim, but nothing like too crazy. But it really changed everything for me, because I was like, okay, I truly felt something. I felt something kind of crazy there, and I felt like this like elation and all this great stuff, and I was like, okay, I think I have found my Isha. And since then I've been very dedicated to Ma Kali, and you know, it's just been every day gaining more and more in terms of Ma, and realizing how much I love the Divine Mother and how much I loved devotion and how much it just changed me. And since then I've had numerous religious experiences, numerous little moments. I've had visions, all kinds of crazy stuff. And but it all started by just kind of going with my gut and just being like, I feel like there's something here with Ma. And, you know, since then, I've really come to believe that Ramakrishna is an avatar. And, you know, people probably think that's kind of crazy. But, you know, really and truly, you know, I found that praying to Sri Ramakrishna feels like it's the same as praying to Krishna or Kali. You know, Kali, obviously, I have a special connection towards, and that's been a little different. And I just really wanted to tell folks that sometimes you really do just need to just go with your gut in spirituality. Sometimes you really do need to just be willing to do things that are a little strange. Like, to think from like years, I've been doing this for years now, but to think like years ago, if I had known like the level I was going to go to with Makali, I would have, I've been like, oh, that's crazy. I never would have done that. Or, like how, like now I have like the statue of Jesus Christ and Makali next to me, and Krishna, and there's a little Shiva, Buddha, there's all kinds of stuff. Like the insights I've gained and the things that have come to me, it's really kind of crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about like how much things have changed in such a short time, and all because I mean, it's been a couple of years now, I guess. But, wait, that wasn't where I wanted to go. I wanted to go here. But, like, how much it's changed and how much it's given me in terms of, like, peace and, joy. Joy, like, it's kind of crazy to think about, like, how joyful, guess I can call it special steep milady. Oh, I should have said that. That's silly. But I really, really am so glad that I took that chance, and I would just encourage folks in their spiritual life to kind of go with their gut and occasionally be willing to like let go of things that we strictly hold on to, because that's another thing. Like we will hold on to these definitions we have of ourselves to the point that everything else is like we won't let anything change in our lives. And sometimes you just really need to like open yourself up to change and really open yourself up to the joys in the world and the joys of God and the joys that can be brought about by doing something different. And you don't know everything, and sometimes we get arrogant on the path. We think, oh, we found exactly what we need. It's like, well, no, sometimes something really crazy will really benefit you, and you just won't even realize that you need it until it's there, and then suddenly it's like, bam, wham, thank you, ma'am, I'm gonna give you a hug, and then everything kind of really changes. And sometimes it feels like a very brief time. It feels like it doesn't take, it takes basically only a moment to get these really incredible experiences, to get this really incredible joy, and giving yourself over to the Lord can just truly be so wonderful. And it's kind of crazy to think about, though, because it's like, what would have happened if I hadn't been willing to take that chance? Maybe I still would have been a devotee of Krishna. Maybe if I hadn't been willing to take a chance on that, maybe I would just see wandering aimlessly as Catte. I mean, big eldritch abomination Catte, so not in a bad spot, mind you, but still. Oh wait, why am I doing this instead of doing this? But still, and I'm just thankful every day that Ma decided to come into my life. Well, come more into my life. She was always there if I truly think about it, but she decided to jab me and do a little dance, and I was like, okay, I'll do a dance with you, and then we did a big dance. So I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I think it's really important occasionally to just take chances. Now, you may say, well, what if those chances seem crazy? Sometimes those crazy chances, when it comes to spirituality, are really what you need. You just wouldn't know it. Not a mean Jimmy Dean? Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say for now. It was a short one. I'm probably going to put up a poll later, and maybe people can vote on what they want the Saturday video to be, but for right now, I just wanted to talk about this, and I figured why not while I'm trying out a new build. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Have a great one. I love you. Bye.